Before we announce the winner, do go and check out our website if you're in the EU. At the moment, you can get 5% off Nintendo eShop cards, Xbox Online cards, whatever they are, FIFA Ultimate Team stuff, and you just need to use the code SwitchUp5. And yes, I am sorting out the US region access to that website. I know you US guys would also love to save 5% on all of these sales games that we don't want to add to our backlog. Ouch. Hi guys, and welcome back to SwitchUp. Without beating around the bush, let's give away that copy of Dying Light, and it has to go to Neil Redmond. His comment about how it compared to Mirror's Edge, but surpassed that in many ways, really struck a chord with me, as I do remember picking up Mirror's Edge, loving it, but feeling like it just didn't quite reach what it could have done. Let's keep going with the awesome giveaways though. We have a copy of Crisis 2 and 3 to give away. Leave all your comments down below. Make sure you let us know you want to enter that, and like another couple of comments. That seemed to work quite nicely. What's on sale? Let's find out. First up then, let's get that thing out the way that's on the thumbnail, because it's so annoying when channels leave that till the end. And we've got The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, obviously, but this includes the expansion pass. Now, this is the physical version, and at the moment, I believe Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart all have it for $39.99. However, Walmart are doing an offer that includes the expansion pass DLC, and it's only $7 more. That's a 41% saving. I actually saw that on Reddit, and it's well worth it. I'm acutely aware that there are some lucky people that have never played this game before and have just got their Nintendo Switch OLEDs, and it certainly does look a delight on that screen.
There's a chance when fighting me, the almighty Garou.
Sometimes I forget myself and get lost in the past.
A couple of games that I've gone back to this week actually are the Steamworld series, specifically Steamworld Dig 1 and 2. Now, I completed Steamworld Dig, the first one, but the second one I never got round to finishing, and they're incredible titles. It combines platforming, mining, and a bit of a Metroidvania into something that just feels kind of classic, but very, very Moorish. You can upgrade your gear, and this then helps you to dig deeper. They're not the longest experiences. I believe the second one's around about 10, maybe 12 hours long, and the first one quite a bit shorter. It took me around about 5 or 6 hours. But they're just great games, and at this ridiculously cheap price, they're well worth it. The first one being available at 75% off, and the second one is currently 60% off. Together, you're looking at around about $10, something like that, so it really won't break the bank. Then we've got a game that Glen reviewed, Dead by Daylight, and it's only fitting we have something in here that I wouldn't want to play, and it's 50% off at the moment. The eShop blurb says, have you ever wanted to play as one of your favourite horror movie characters? Well, my answer to that is absolutely not, but I know many of you will have done, or will want to. It's got a 1 versus 4 multiplayer mode that's hugely popular online, that sees one of you playing as the killer and the others trying to escape. This version includes 9 killers and 10 survivors, as well as 3 different cosmetic packs. There's tons of DLC available for this one. This is really online only. There's no real offline mode per se, if I'm getting that correct. I'm sure it was this game. But for those who like it, well, they seem to absolutely love it. It's got a 17 gigabyte download though, so, well, make sure you've got the space for it. And that sale goes on until November the 1st. Next up, we've got probably one of my favourite shooters on the Switch, and it's Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville, the complete edition. This is at the moment 70% off. That is in the US region only though, so make sure you've got your US eShop set up. And this is an online cooperative shooter. You can play 2 teams versus each other. You can also do single player experience, which kind of puts you in the town, and then you can do missions for different people. And it has motion controls. It's the first game to use the Frostbite engine on Switch, and it makes good use of it, and it clocks in at around about 6.5 gigs. Check out our review of that one. I'll pop a link to it in the top comment. That goes on until November the 1st. Then we've got Fort Triumph, which we reviewed maybe a month or so back. It comes from publisher All In Games, and it's a turn-based tactical game with a medieval fantasy styling. It looks a little bit like they took the assets from World of Warcraft, but Asdin reviewed this for us and he loved it. The interesting quirk here is that you can use environmental objects as weapons, things like boulders or trees, and your heroes level up. They gain different traits and cross-class abilities. It also has an excellent epic soundtrack, which ties in nicely with it. It's not the longest. You could complete the main story in about 6 hours, but there's lots of extra content that you could do. It has a download size of 1.1 gigs and at 30% off until November the 3rd. My hidden gem of the week, and a brilliant game, so much fun. You're going to look at this, some of you, and be like, nah, that's rubbish. Look at its 2D pixel art crap. I promise you, it's awesome. It's called Door Kickers Action Squad, as you've already seen. It's 70% off at the moment, and it is such a fun couch co-op game. You go in, well, in different ways because there are different classes, some of them more stealthy, some of them loud with shotguns, and you have to clear out the terrorists. Sometimes they might have hostages in there, over 20 different enemies, and 84 levels to blast your way through. But yeah, there's also a zombie invasion mode. As a couch co-op, it's brilliant, but it also has online as well. Can't recommend this highly enough. Only 107 megabytes as well if you want to download it, and to do everything, and I mean maybe 9 hours, but if you want to get all the extras and get a bit of a completionist run, it can go up to 17, and then you throw in co-op on top of that. This is hands down my pick of the week, and that sale goes on until October the 30th. I am undoubtedly a nautical nerd when it comes to games like King of Seas. While it attempts to scratch that Sid Meier's Pirates itch, it doesn't do it quite as well. Well, it doesn't do it as well as those games, but I still think it's a decent experience, and it's one that I recommended people to buy when it was on sale, as it is now. It's currently 40% off, which obviously is its lowest ever price, and this is a single player adventure strategy game. You imagine things like buying and selling, trading different goods, fighting sea monsters and other pirate captains. Could have done with a little bit more streamlining in my opinion, but I think it's well worth this price. It comes from Team 17 and developer 3D Clouds. It's got 1.2 gigabyte download, and you're looking around about 15 to 20 hours to do everything. That sale goes on until November the 11th. Another one reviewed at launch, which didn't quite meet its full potential but was still decent, was the Survivalists. The deluxe edition though is 50% off at the moment, taking it down to £11.99. Now, as the title suggests, you wash up on an island, there's crafting, there's survival, and there are monkeys. The cool thing about the monkeys in this game is they can actually be trained. So you can, I can't remember what the mechanic's called. It's like monkey watch mode or something. I can't remember, but you can set them to it, perform some menial task like collecting berries, and then that monkey will then do that thing. You're essentially creating algorithms for monkeys, and you can automate a lot of the more mundane tasks in that way. Unfortunately, it doesn't have local, as in couch co-op multiplayer, which is a bit of a shame, but still, it's over 50 hours of content, and yeah, worth it. The last one for me this week, and mostly because I've been watching the trailer to the sequel, is OXenfree. OXenfree is a great, not walking simulator, but I guess you could call it that. It has a bit of a horror aspect to it as well. It's very unusual and describes itself as a supernatural thriller. It focuses in on a small group of friends, and you play as Alex, who is the cliche rebellious teenager who brings her brother Jonas essentially to the island to party. Things go wrong, and it definitely does get quite creepy. My tolerance for creepiness is very low, as you know if you've watched the channel, and it does include a few nice things like HD rumble feedback as well. It's the voice acting and the interaction between the characters that carries this though, and if you're even considering buying the sequel, then make sure you pick this one up first. It's 2.2 gigs, it'll take around about 5 hours to finish, and it's currently 60% off, taking it down to £3.59. Absolute bargain. That goes on until November the 1st. Okay, so that's it. Now it's time to look at 2 games you should avoid. The reasons for avoiding them vary. Sometimes they're absolutely terrible. Sometimes the performance stinks. And sometimes they're Zoo Dentist. Currently on an 80% sale and is aimed to educate people as to why we shouldn't feed wild animals because their teeth get damaged. So in come you as the Zoo Dentist with your variety of tools and you fix their rotten teeth. Oh my goodness, you fix their rotten teeth. Now I showed this to my 8-year-old and said, hey, fancy you go on Zoo Dentists? It's going to teach you how to fix a raccoon's teeth. Needless to say, she went back to playing Dragon Quest XI's. So I think that says it all really. And last but not least, I might have just saved you some serious cash. We've got Urban Street Fighting, which is currently 50% off and hilariously describes its main features as having AAA graphics, AAA physics, 6 characters, 5 sceneries, and 180 animations, and, wait for it, optional musics. So if you want AAA physics and graphics and optional musics, then this might be the full 3D fighter for you. I'm almost positive one of the special moves in this game is known as the asset flip. Absolute trash. And what a pleasure it is. There we go. Thanks very much for watching our channel. Do leave your comments to win a copy of Crysis 2 and 3. Unfortunately, I don't have Crysis 1 to give away, but you know, you can't win them all. Thanks to our patrons. We're up to 99 patrons, which is amazing. If you want to join them and make it 100, you know, I'm not begging, I'm just saying that would be fantastic. And thank you to those guys. All that's left to say is for all things Switch, all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers, guys. See ya!